What's going on, everybody? So today, as the title says, Diablo Immortal is getting stale. Um, we have a patch you can see in the top right corner. It's going to drop in about 5 hours, which means that as of tomorrow, we're going to get these new legendary normal gem stats, which I don't think will change basically anything. Um, in reality, I mean, granted, I don't know exactly how they're going to roll it out, but I don't think it really will change much in the game. Outside of that, they don't really have anything exciting about this update. That's kind of what I mentioned previously. It's kind of a boring update. Space is something that it felt like there was like a lot of quality of life here, and um, like quality of life, small quality of life things that aren't really that crazy important. And they took not only did they take a full update to do it, they also basically had us removed from the previous update because, well, apparently their schedules didn't match up or whatever. Basically, we've waited a longer period of time than we should have for this update, and yet we're not really getting anything too exciting. So the reason why I make this video is because actually I saw a video on Echo's channel here. There's an ad here, but Diablo Immortal, dying every update. Thumbnail's like, is it over? Which is kind of funny because that's how I titled my video the other day. But this is, he's actually made two videos. So I'm definitely going to go ahead and link all his channel as well as all the videos that I'm talking about. But these two videos right here, Diablo Immortal screwed up and is it over? These two videos, I watched both of them. And basically, I'm not going to react to them or anything, but it's kind of prompted this video for me. And that is this Diablo Immortal screwed up video. Basically, I agree with a lot what he said. And the is it over is basically talking about how this update was kind of mediocre and a lot of other things. Definitely check it out because that's not even a fair representation of what they said. So, but this is basically going to prompt me to make my video right now because I agree with a lot of that kind of sentiment right now. I think there's a lot of things happening in the game that are compounding at this very moment. And it's more so than any other point in the entire game. First off, we did get a road ahead, and the road ahead seems to be a lot less exciting than I was hoping for. Why? Because it's less frequent than I was hoping for. So we have to wait longer for each of the updates. Early on, when we were talking about updates, it was like minor update, major update. That's kind of what the idea was. When the classification of major updates came out, that was the plan. Before that, they mentioned every 2 weeks we're getting an update, which they really haven't stuck to that plan. They literally just taken breaks, which fair enough, guys. If you need to take a break, it is what it is, right? It is what it is. It's just that was the expectation up front, was that 2-week updates, right? And I was going to make myself bigger because we're really just talking about Diablo Immortal here and my opinion. But that all happened, right? And then we have this update, which is like really just mediocre. And on top of all that, we recently got Hell 7 gear, and Hell 8 is the longest jump we've had so far. Well, I guess you could say it's the same as Hell 5, Hell 6, and Hell 7. So it's not necessarily the longest, but it is tied for the longest amongst these ones, right? And each one of these, right? Hell 6 didn't exist when we were waiting for it, okay? So you can see here, it drops Paragon 360 plus, so 360 is what you need. So Hell 6 didn't even exist when we were doing Hell 5. And so when we unlocked Hell 6, it just popped into existence. Hell 5 was also a time in which the game was a little stale as well. And yet we got a massive update. We knew there was a major update coming because they told us, right? And yet it looks like the major update for Diablo Immortal, based on like the data mines and such, is going to be late next month. So we're looking at another month and a half of kind of mediocre updates, which is like really sad. And then we have no advantage to farming, really, because Hell 8 is so far away. I already have the combat rating recommended. So, you know, it's kind of like, okay, whatever. I can do Hell 8, but it's so far away. I haven't really been logging in. After I got 480, I've been logging in less and less. You can see it's 504, so I'm 13 levels above or below Paragon right now. And that means that we have minimum about 45 days until we actually give you access to Hell 8. So the gameplay, then there's no real progression that we can have right now, to be honest. It's going to be the same old, which, you know, isn't necessarily the worst, right? Because that's what we've been dealing with this whole time. But I guess the point is that there's a few things. One, there's a lot of people leaving the game. Even more so, it just continues to drop. Second thing is a lot of the sentiment from a lot of people. We've been playing for so long that I think this is finally starting to kind of, I guess you could say, expand our already discontent. And then the third thing was this whole update. This whole update, again, we've waited longer for it, and it was kind of just bleh. It was just bleh. Like, that's what I don't know how else to say it. Like, it was not exciting. I'm really, I was expecting that they were going to do something cool. They had Fractured Plane return for a temporary amount of time, and then they went ahead and dismissed it, which I don't understand why. It was honestly the most fun I've had in Diablo Immortal in a long time when I did that competition with Darth. And so, obviously, I'm kind of just rambling about, you know, things that are kind of just in the game, right? But the problem I'm seeing is that we now are in a state of there is literally nothing that we exciting new to cover for a while. As a content creator, I would say, but even more so as a player, there's nothing really exciting to engage with. You're going to do the same daily combat rating grind. You're going to do the same daily legendary grind. You're going to do the same grind every day. And even if you're enjoy, let's say you enjoy PvP, which personally I don't really enjoy PvP. I enjoy PvP on the Wizard a little bit, but problem is, like, I just don't enjoy PvP that's like dictated basically purely by money. And I know some people disagree. Oh, there's skill in PvP. Like, I'm a 1K residence player and I'm legend. Well, I mean, you could be legend and have a 20% win rate. Like, it's just how the game is balanced, right? What I mean by that is there's no rewards for doing PvP, for one, which is exactly what I echo the sentiment of Echo, which is I play the game for rewards and progressing my character. And realistically, guys, if you look at the state of the game, what can you do to progress your character? Especially if you're someone who's spent a little bit, okay? Let's talk about things that we normally do to progress our character. We have combat rating, we have resonance, and we have secondary stats, okay? Secondary stats, I'm going to include the normal gems is kind of what I'm thinking about. Obviously, we have resonance, which is a pay-to-win mechanic, and I cannot progress at all, no matter how efficient you want to be. I just can't progress because I've spent too much, and I'm at a lock. So therefore, and some people will say, oh, well, you spent a lot, therefore you can't progress. Well, again, that's a problem with the game. That's just what it is. And the normal gems, I don't think are very meaningful. Let's say I were to invest in grinding every day. Let's say I wanted to upgrade my normal gems. What is my lowest Sapphire rank here? I have a rank 4. I have a couple rank 4s. Okay, so if I wanted to go to rank 5, let's say I wanted to go to rank 5. Let's do some math here real quick. Let's do some math. I wanted to go rank 5 here. Okay, so we need 3 of the 1s. We need 3 of the 2s, which means times 3. We need 3 of the 3s, which means times 3 again, which means I need 27 normal sapphires, which I could buy from the market, but I have very low platinum, which means that minimum, in order for me to get a rank 4, this is a rank 4, by the way, right? Because you have 3 of the normal gems. This creates a level 2, then a level 3. Actually, no, level 4. This is 81. You need 81 to create a level 4. And I need 3 level 4s to create a level 5. Which means I need 243. Now, granted, I have a rank 4 and I have another rank 4, which means I only need 81 technically. So I need 81 sapphires. Let's assume that I would sell my other normal gems to get a sapphire. That means I need 12 gems per day. Let's say I do hidden layers as well. Let's say I get another sapphire there, which means I'm getting 13 gems per day, which means minimum to get 1 upgrade on a sapphire, which goes from like 36 armor pen to I think like 70 something or 60 something. It's gonna take me a week. It's gonna take me a week. And that's if I'm selling everything, and that's not even gonna be getting me a sapphire. I doubt it. Because I don't want to sell these gems for a sapphire, which is higher priced, right? Now, who knows how they're going to change these? I'm not quite sure. I think they're adding the attributes and things like that, I think. So just look at the normal gems. It's just so long, right? And this is a free-to-play player's perspective because I've not spent a single dime on normal gems. I haven't used my platinum for them. I've just grinded them. I've, in fact, sold most of them, okay? So that's not really a thing. Combat rating. Does combat rating matter? No. Does not matter. I'm already maxed out on Hell 8, which is the highest difficulty. Now, yes, I can farm for Hell 8 Heliquaries. But to be honest, guys, I'm so far, and because I'm not 7,000 residents or 5,000 residents, even the people with 5,000 or 6,000 residents can just carry me in warband raids or raids in general. So that's not really a issue for me. I can do challenge rifts, but again, that just gives me more combat rating, which again, we established doesn't really matter. So really there's no point in progress. There's no way I can progress my character. So then that's why the game is getting stale. Because again, I play this game not because I particularly enjoy running in a circle or I particularly enjoy ship farming. The only reason I play any game, like let's say I were to play a RuneScape, like I don't enjoy sitting and cutting a tree. I enjoy the resources that I get and the experience that I get from cutting a tree. If I play another MMO, I don't enjoy doing whatever event. Typically, some games are different, right? But if I've done it like 20 times, I'm not going to enjoy it the 21st time, but I enjoy the rewards that I get at the 21st time. And that's what encourages me to do it, because I can use those rewards to progress my character or unlock something cool. And unfortunately, this game doesn't really have that mechanic. And so I say again, Diablo Immortal is getting stale. And I wanted to share my thoughts just because, well, D3 season's coming up. And I'm looking at that and I'm thinking, could be pretty fun. Yeah? So that's what I'm thinking right now, guys. But regardless, on top of everything else, on top of whatever all I've said, the biggest thing for me, and honestly, probably the I guess you could say the most sad thing, is that there's a lot of people leaving. And that's sad for two reasons. One, as a player, and then two, as someone that makes content for the game. And so because people are leaving, that's a huge impact on myself and what I want to do in terms of content. And that's a major factor as well, regardless of my personal enjoyment. Because a lot of people echo my sentiment on what I think about kind of the progression mechanics and things like that. And again, I think that this really is compounding itself because we haven't really gotten an amazing update since the Essence extraction system, which to be fair was not super far ago. But even that, which I thought was going to be a really cool system, you max out within like 2 weeks. Like it's done. Like that's not even like you're done. Thought it was going to be a little bit more interesting than that. But I can't even progress that because I'm done. Yeah, I'm either there's nothing more for me to do there. There's no new classes. Realistically, I'd love to try more builds, but at the end of the day, there's basically a couple of set builds, and you don't even need to change your build for PvE unless you might want to push some challenge risks, but you don't even need to do that because you don't need combat rating. I don't know, guys. Let me know what you guys think in the comment section down below. Very curious to hear what you have to say. I felt like, again, what prompted me to make this video is because I've actually checked up on Echo Gaming's content. I've also checked up on DM's content. I've checked up on JT's content. A lot of the bigger creators, they pop in my feed a lot of the times. And I also like have personal connections with, for example, Darth. So, I check out his content quite often. But Echo is someone that I felt like never really addressed, I guess you'd say, the community and where it's at before. This is like the first time where he's come out and spoken about, I think, the bigger issues and things that he's kind of felt like he's not enjoyed the game. And I guess I just related to that, and I wanted to add my thoughts to that from my perspective, because I completely relate right now. And if you guys want to know what I'm talking about, you should definitely check out his videos, which I will leave linked in the comment section down below. But again, I want to hear your thoughts. I'm going to be responding to the comments more on this video than other ones, just because I'm very curious. And you can see I've been doing polls on the channel recently just because I want to connect with the community in Diablo Immortal, because I feel like they're really, it's really died down as of late. So that's all for today. I'll be back tomorrow with a video. So if you guys want to check out that video, be sure to sub. Definitely never going to stop creating content. There's one thing for certain. You will see a video at 8 a.m. Mountain Time every single morning. You can count on that.